It turns out the claim that you can keep your plan and your doctor, no matter what, was not the only misleading argument the president made for Obamacare. Chief National Correspondent Jim Engel has uncovered another with even bigger consequences for Americans who already have health care.
In yet another controversy for Obamacare, analysts predict it will mean the end of employer-provided insurance, with former Obama advisor Zeke Emanuel writing that 80% of such plans will disappear within 10 years.
It's going to actually be better for people. They'll have more choice. Most people who work for an employer and get their coverage through an employer do not have choice.
The Wall Street research firm S&P Capital IQ goes even further, predicting 90% of such plans will disappear.
The companies will really be hard-pressed to justify why they would continue to have to spend the kind of money they spend by offering insurance through corporate plans when there's an alternative that's subsidized by the government.
The reason analysts see this historic change is because the penalty for not offering insurance, $2,000 per worker, is much less than the cost of providing it.
For a worker making only $15 an hour, typical employer coverage for a family costs $15,000 or $16,000. That's more than half of that worker's annual wage.
Creating an incentive for employers to shift low-income workers to the exchanges. But in his first campaign, well before the law passed, Mr. Obama sharply criticized a Republican proposal, arguing such coverage was untouchable.
This would lead to the unraveling of the employer-based health care system. That, I don't think, is the kind of change that we need.
A reference to a proposal from Senator John McCain in 2008 offering every American a $5,000 tax credit instead of tax-free insurance only for those who get coverage at work. Senator Obama pounced on the idea.
What he doesn't tell you is that he is going to tax your employer-based health care benefits for the first time ever.
But now analysts predict Obamacare will actually eliminate those plans altogether.
He accused John McCain of trying to undermine employer-provided health insurance. And now we find that Obamacare is having the very impact that Obama warned against. It may completely erode health insurance provided by employers.
So after portraying himself as the defender of employer-provided insurance, predictions say President Obama's policies will lead to its collapse, throwing some 150 million people into Obamacare instead of getting tax-free coverage at work. Brett?
We'll follow it. Jim, thank you. A Washington institution is calling it quits. For the last 15 years, Terry Sutton was the first face or voice that reporters dealing with the State Department press office would encounter. Known for her dry wit and generous soul, Sutton served the last 7 spokespeople at the department. She had previously worked at other bureaus within state as well as our embassy in the Philippines. Sutton is retiring after a 42-year career in public service, and we wish her well. Today is the 50th wedding anniversary of former Vice President Dick Cheney and wife Lynn. Their daughter Liz sent along this picture of the couple back in 1964. Happy anniversary. No Grapevine tonight, so we can start the panel a little early. 3 panels, actually. But first, remember the president's red line in Syria? How what did not happen when it was crossed affects an even greater threat to